Hello guys, what is up and welcome back to another video, and today I am going to be telling you all how to farm emeralds the fastest in Minecraft dungeons. Now, during the most recent Halloween event, they actually changed how the enchant Prospector works. Well, they didn't really change how it works that much, it's still relatively the same. However, they changed what it can be applied to. Prospector can be applied to armor and bows now, which I found quite interesting considering that this could greatly increase the number of emeralds that you could get for a run, because now you'd have more Prospector on your armor and your bow and you'd be able to get just a ton of emeralds, and that would be very useful for your progress. Now, I'm not only going to be explaining what the best builds are for farming emeralds, I'm also going to be explaining what you should spend your emeralds on. And there are also specific levels that yield more emeralds than others. So starting off, a build for grinding emeralds. Now, the armor does not matter that much, but you need good enchants for that armor. The only armor I would recommend to go out of the way to get is if you had a DLC called the Highland Peaks pack. One of the unique armor sets that drops there actually gives you more emeralds. And if you're lucky enough to stumble across a diamond pickaxe with Prospector already put into it, that's pretty nice. However, it is much more worth it to just stick to trying to get 2 Prospector enchants on a single weapon. One enchanting slot with Prospector on a diamond pickaxe is not as good as having 2 enchanting slots with Prospector. So now that those tips are out of the way, the specific enchants you're going to want is of course double Prospector on your weapon. This is sort of grindy to get. However, if you use the tips that I've mentioned in my other video, how to speedrun Minecraft dungeons for loot, if you haven't watched it, please go check it out right now. Right after you watch this video, it goes over how to get a lot of progression and how to get a lot of loot by speedrunning. And that's how you are most likely going to get your Prospector weapon. Now the bow, obviously you're going to want 1 level of Prospector on it. I don't know if it's possible to get to. I'd assume it's possible because I have found 2 Prospector armors, but I cannot confirm since I haven't actually found a bow with 2 Prospector slots. Now the armor is where it starts to get tricky, as there are 3 different enchants that could potentially give you a lot more emeralds. Number 1 is Luck of the Sea, which converts 30% of the rare armor that you get into unique armor. Now, this might not seem that huge of an upgrade if you're, say, just going into Apocalypse from Adventure, but if you're in Apocalypse Plus, you will get almost all rare armor, weapon, and bow pieces, because as you go up, it will start to re-roll the commons for you to get rares. And so if 30% of your rares are becoming uniques, that can heavily boost your emerald gain just because of how much you can sell those unique items for. Number 2 is Lucky Explorer. Just by walking around and exploring new areas, you have a small chance to have emeralds appear beneath you. Now, I know from testing that this is better than using Prospector on armor. Believe me, I compared them. It is more worth it to simply use Lucky Explorer than Prospector on your armor. And it's actually the best if you use Luck of the Sea on your armor. In fact, the competition is not even close. So it turns out that even though they added Prospector as an armor enchant, it's actually better to have Lucky Explorer and the Luck of the Sea. Now, talking about the levels. The level that you would want to do the most is obviously the mushroom level. Just complete it 100% of the way through, go off on all of the side branches. You will find a ton of cows there, and you will be able to get a ton of emeralds because of it. Now, the funny thing is, it's actually faster if once you get to the boss part, you simply leave the level and redo it. But if you want to defeat the boss for an extra item and that artifact chest at the end, that's a pretty good strategy. Just make sure you're not using your emerald farming gear while you're fighting the boss. Next up, I want to talk about the daily quest missions. The daily quest missions have modifiers that make it different from your normal Minecraft Dungeons level. This change could be a boost in souls, a boost in mob HP, a boost in mob damage, replacing melee mobs with creepers, and so on. But one of the boosts is that it gives the player Prospector. Now there's something that I haven't talked about yet, and that's how the Prospector enchants are added up. All of the Prospector enchants, as far as my calculations go, are additive. Meaning that if you have plus 300% emeralds on your armor, plus 300% emeralds on your bow, and plus 600% emeralds from your sword, those are going to add together to give you 1200% more emeralds. But if you go into a daily mission, that boost with Prospector will be multiplicative, meaning that instead of getting plus 100% emeralds added onto your 1200%, it will multiply that, meaning that you will actually be getting plus 2400% emeralds on daily missions. Now don't quote me on the plus 100% emeralds per run thing when you go into daily missions, because I don't actually know the percentage it increases your emerald drop chance by. It could be plus 100%, plus 200%, or plus 300%. I'm not certain on that part. The only thing I am certain is that the emerald boost is multiplicative, and that if you have a daily mission with this boost, you should definitely play it. Now, there's one exception about this daily mission. If you have the boost, run through the entire level, but do not finish that level. Because if you finish that level, you will not be able to play it on that difficulty again. You'll have to go down a difficulty level or up a difficulty level. Don't know why you'd be playing it on adventure first, though. Instead, you'll want to leave and restart that level. Therefore, you'll be able to run through the entire level again and get the full amount of emeralds. Alright, now that we're done with all of that, it's finally time to get into what you spend your emeralds on. And the most effective way to spend your emeralds is either at the blacksmith or at the village merchant. Let's start off with the blacksmith. Obviously, the blacksmith is going to take emeralds in order to upgrade your gear. But if you watched my speedrunning video, you'll know that the gear I recommended is completely unique, meaning that it could take 2000 emeralds plus to upgrade a single piece of gear. That is a ton of emeralds. In fact, that's around 2 runs worth of emeralds normally. However, if you have an emerald farming gear set, this can be cut down to upgrading 2 or maybe even 3 uniques in just 1 run. This is especially good towards the late end game when you've done almost everything except beat the Arch Illager on Apocalypse Plus 21, when you want to get your gear completely optimized. The second thing would be at the village merchant. If you're in Apocalypse Plus and you want to make progress in terms of your gear, the village merchant is the easiest way to do that. It will often restock after a level with gear that can be 6 to 10 points above what your current gear is. I used this quite a bit in order to get a ton of much stronger gear so that I could progress quicker through Apocalypse Plus. Anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please like and subscribe and comment down below. It helps out a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.